Okay, so good morning everyone. So how are you today? I hope that you are doing fine despite of the situation. And I hope also na kahit mahirap talaga yung situation natin, is that we are still determined and focused to achieve our goal, no? Malapit na talaga, no? Ilang tulog na lang, kuhang-kuha na, no? Just keep working hard, no? Just keep working hard, everyone. Okay? So, for today, okay, we will be discussing a type of liability. Current liability siya, part of the part of those liabilities na ipipresent natin siya as current. Okay? However, this type of liabilities, yung tinatawag natin sila na mga estimated liabilities. Okay? As we all remember, okay, or as we remember from our previous topic, okay, di ba, we have discussed or we have learned na estimated liabilities, although estimated siya, they are to be presented in financial statements. Diba? Why? Because, again, no, estimated liabilities, although term siya as estimated, okay, klaro yung amount, klaro yung obligation. What is unknown is only the timing, no? So, basically, the requirement of a transaction to be recognized as a liability is present sa mga estimated liabilities. Number one requirement is that there is an obligation, di ba? There is an amount, okay, that will result to a future outflow of an future economic outflow, di ba? What is uncertain, okay? What is uncertain is that only the timing. So, timing is not a requirement man to be classified as a liability or to be recognized as liability. So, in that sense, estimated liabilities are to be presented as current liabilities. Pasok siya kung ano yung dapat na i-present natin as a liability. So, in that manner, okay, we will start our discussion with estimated premium liabilities. Okay? Estimated premium liabilities. Okay? So, what are premiums? Okay? What are premiums? So, if you are familiar, guys, no? If you are familiar, sometimes, businesses or, to be particular, let's say, yung mga groceries, di ba nagpo-promo yan sila, no? Na, let's say, in exchange na makaka-redeem ka ng, let's say, receipt worth 5,000 pesos, makakakuha ka ng certain item. Okay? That certain item class, no? That certain item, those are premiums. Okay? Those are premiums. So, in that sense, because an entity will say na if you will give us this coupon or this receipt valued at this amount, we will give you something in exchange. So, there is now that obligation. Okay? There is now that obligation. Second, it will result to a future economic transaction outflow. Okay? What is that outflow? Yung pagbibigay mo ng premium. Okay? Hindi lang klaro kung kailan. Kailan magre-redeem yung customer. So that is why standard states an accounting liability arises because of that obligation for future distribution. Okay? Klaro yan siya ha? So, estimated premium liability is a current liability because it suffices the requirement on what should be recognized as a liability. No? Yung mga, kumbaga yung mga promo, sometimes, marketing promo ng mga businesses. No? That is an accounting liability. Okay? So, to recognize that, these are basically the common journal entries encountered in dealing with estimated premium liabilities. Okay? So, number one, syempre, yung pagbili natin ng premium items. Okay? Yung pagbili ng premium items, like, depende. If yung item mo is, let's say, yung mga baso, or ano pa ba yung typical na mga items na binibigay during promos, like yung mga relo sometimes, no? If we purchase those items, we record it as a debit to premiums. Obviously, credit to cash if paid in cash, or accounts payable if paid or if purchased on account, no? We debit it as premiums. Okay, klaro yan siya ha. Now, why debit? During the purchase of premiums class, no? Initially, this is recognized as an asset. Asset yan siya. Okay, asset yan siya. Hindi yan siya liability pa. Klaro yan siya ha. Why asset? Because this pertains to that item na ibibigay natin. No? That is why this is still our asset. Okay. Pag i-distribute na natin yan siya, itong premium, or ito yung item natin. Okay? Itong item natin, pag i-distribute na natin yan siya, obviously, that will be recognized as an expense. Okay? As an expense. Credit premiums. Meaning, ng entry na to, may expense tayo, yung premiums na binigay natin sa mga customer, yung binigay natin is yung premium item, yung asset. Okay? Yung asset. Okay? Klaro yan siya ha. Now, these two entries, no, or especially the second entries, this is applicable only if during the year of purchase, then at the same year, may redemption na, so this will be your entry. Okay? This will be your entry. However, the case is different if during the year, nag-purchase ka ng item, but then again, at the end of the reporting period or within the reporting period, walang nag-redeem. So, the case is, you now need to recognize the expense. Because again, why you need to recognize that expense? Because matching principle states na the expense pertaining to that particular premium relates to the current sale or to the current revenue. So, dapat, yung expense mo, as what is mandated by matching principle, dapat i-match mo siya sa revenue kung saan siya nakuha. Nakuha nyo? So, that means, at the end of every reporting period, all unredeemed premiums are to be recognized as an expense, to be credited as a estimated premium liability. Klaro yan siya. So, the entry basically is debit premium expense to credit estimated premium liabilities. So, parang kumbaga, if you remember our concept of adjusting entries, nag-accrual lang tayo nito ng expense. Okay? This is accrual of expense in its basic form, no? Recognize the expense, recognize the related liability. Okay? So, if we present it in the financial statement class, okay, if we present it in the financial statement, again, as what I've stated earlier, premiums classified as current asset. Premium expense, obviously, classified as an expense account in the income statement. Operating, or to be specific, marketing expense siya. Estimated premium liability to be presented as a current liability. Okay? Klaro yan siya, ha? So, that is premiums. No? That is premiums. Now, later on our discussion, or on this discussion, we will have examples, no? But we have just to we just have to finish all the discussion before we'll discuss the illustration. Okay? So, just be patient on our discussion for today, ha? So, next type of estimated liability. The cash rebate program. Okay? The cash rebate program. Actually, this is another type of premium wherein, no? Itong cash rebate program class, or guys, no? This is another type of premium wherein, instead na item yung ibibigay mo sa magre-redeem sa'yo, or sa magre-redeem ng business, ang ibibigay is pera. Cash rebate, no? This is also different from cash discount. Okay? Anong kaibahan ng cash rebate at ng cash discount? Cash discount, pag i-redeem mo siya, yung babayaran mo sa item is yung sales price minus the discount. Yun siya. However, in a cash rebate, pag i-redeem mo siya, you will still pay in full. However, you will be given an amount as a rebate, no? Although kung iintindihin natin, no, parang same lang siya, but to be precise, no, may kaibahan siya. Okay? May kaibahan siya. So, how do we recognize in accounting this cash rebate? Okay? So, again, no, if during the year or within the reporting period, okay, coincide yung between the declaration na merong rebate program and the redemption, so, debit, rebate expense, credit cash ka nun. Di ba? Kasi within the year, no? Within the year. However, if yung redemption is maglalapse ng 1 year, or ang redemption is not within the reporting period or not within the year of reporting, then again, you must accrue the liability. Okay? So how will you recognize the accrual of that liability? Or, sorry, accrual of that expense, rather. Okay? Debit rebate expense, then credit estimated rebate liability. No? Simple. When it is redeemed, let's say, example, 2020, you have recognized this entry, no? Because may rebate program, then you have estimated na something, ganitong amount yung marirebate. So, recognize this entry as an accrual of that expense. Okay? When it is redeemed, all you have to do is that as if, no? Typical recording payment of liability. Debit the liability, then credit the cash, no? Simple concept. Okay? Um, Actually, if we are to talk or if we are to analyze this, no, um, recognition of this type of estimated liabilities in accounting, parang same na talaga yung concept, no? What is different is that the account titles used and basically the um, object of liability, di ba? What is important is that we understand what is a cash rebate and we understand what is a premium, no? So, as to classification, okay, same pa rin. When we talk about rebate expense, that is an expense account in the income statement. Estimated rebate liability, current liability. Okay? So, next. Cash discount. Again, no? As stated earlier, this is another type of a premium liability wherein instead na item related to cash. The difference between cash discount and cash rebate is that yung rebate, again, babayaran mo siya in full. However, you will be given certain amount in exchange considered as rebate. Itong cash discount, babayaran mo siya at a discounted price. Kumbaga, deducted na siya agad. Okay? So, accounting-wise, same concept pa rin. The difference is the account title used. If you recognize a cash discount during the year or if you accrue the expense pertaining to this cash discount, okay? Cash discount expense, estimated coupon liability or estimated discount coupon liability, pwede rin, no? When you pay it, cash discount or debit the liability, then credit the cash, no? Simple concept, okay? As to classification, same pa rin. Expense, income statement account, estimated coupon liability, current liability. Okay? Now, so you may ask, no? What is the difference between this cash discount given in estimated liabilities to the concept of discount that we have already known, no, from previous topics pa way back from our accounting 1, no? So anong kaibahan nito versus those type of discount? Okay? Kasi if you may notice, parang iba yung treatment dito. Bakit na expense to, no? At naging liability yung cash discount na alam natin, di ba? Deducted diretso sa sales price. Di ba? Deducted diretso siya sa sales price. Then, yung i-recognize lang natin is, or, while we recognize it as a sales discount, however, parang kumbaga, automatic yung recognition. Bakit dito naging expense? No? So, what is the difference? Let us remember na what we are trying to recognize here are still, or what we are trying to recognize here in this liability concept of discount is that, kumbaga, hindi pa natin alam yung timing. Diba? And, although related din siya sa sales because, again, we have this type of program or businesses have this type of program because they want to level they want to increase the level of sales, no? The timing is still unknown. So, kumbaga, yung actual sale nito, okay? Kumbaga, kung yung actual sale nito walang discount, kumbaga, let's say ganito. You purchase, okay? Parang ang concept is, let's say may dalawang item. Okay, item A and B, no? Item A and B. Item A, kumbaga ganito yung program. Si item A, pag bumili ka ng item A, magkakaroon ka ng discount ni item B. Okay? That is the program. That is the coupon, no? So meaning, pag bumili ka na A, hindi pa klaro kung bibilhin mo si B, di ba? Hindi pa klaro. However, because si A is binili na, di ba? Because si A is binili na, klaro na nagkaroon ka na ng obligation because you have contracted yourself na pag binili to si A is that bibigyan mo ng discount si B. There is now a liability that requires a future outflow of an economic transaction. That is cash discount coupon liabilities. Diba? The concept of cash discount, as what we have all known from previous pa, yung cash discount, yung parang iniisip natin na cash discount is ganito. Bumili ka si A. Pero, as part of the promotion sa company, pag binili mo si A, mayroon kang 10% discount. O ha? So, that is the discount nung alam na natin sa simula pa lang. Diba? Nakuha niyo yung diferensya? If the discount pertains to that actual sale, to that actual item na binili mo, that is the regular discount. However, if you will be given a coupon na bibigyan ka ng discount for a future purchase, that is your cash discount coupon liability. Okay? So, klaro yan siya. So, again, specification nito is that yung cash discount expense is operating. Yung liability, obviously, is a current liability, no? Simple concept. Same lang talaga yan siya. The difference is just the account titles used, no? Okay. So, next type of premium is itong customer loyalty program. So, I don't know if you are familiar with customer loyalty program, but this is a very common concept, especially nowadays, no. If familiar kayo, 'di ba? Let's say dito sa lugar natin, no. Grocery store. Okay, grocery store. Di ba sometimes nagbibigay yan sila ng mga loyalty card, yung parang mga member loyalty cards, na ang concept is, if habang bumibili ka for that particular grocery or for that particular store, you are earning points. No, you are earning points. The accumulated points, if ma-achieve mo yung certain level, di ba, most of the time, parang in exchange for that certain level of points, magkakaroon ka ng ganitong item, kumbaga, or in exchange for that, parang may items ka na worth 500 pesos, 1,000 or something, no? Depende sa program nila, no? Basta, related siya, again, na in the future, magkakaroon ka ng outflow of that item. Diba? So, diba, yan siya typically yung customer loyalty program. Okay? So, what makes this customer loyalty program distinct from these other three is that this customer loyalty program, guys, no? This loyalty customer program class, covered siya by IFRS 15, yung revenue from contracts with customer. Under paragraph 74, it provides na daw that an entity shall allocate a transaction price to each performance obligation identified in a contract on a relative standalone selling price basis, no? In simple terms, okay? In simple terms, Um, IFRS 15 requires us that if a customer is earning points from a contracted loyalty program, no? From this type of program, we need to allocate the actual sales price. Okay? We need to allocate the actual sales price na kung baga, dapat may value din yung points na nai-earn niya. So in short, yung actual sales mo ngayon in relation to that particular transaction, hindi na yan siya, okay? Hindi na yan siya applicable to that sales alone. Because a portion of that should be allocated sa points na may earned ng customer. Okay? Why is that so? Why is that so? The standard states na that loyalty points ngayon becomes an obligation of the entity for a future delivery of goods or service. Kung baga, what is happening in this particular transaction is that the earned points of customer becomes an obligation of the entity to deliver future goods or service. Which is tama naman, di ba? Which is tama naman kasi, kumbaga, yun nga, concept is, pag makaka-accumulate ka ng certain points, di ba? In exchange, meron kang item, grocery items, in a particular example, na makukuha. Or whatever, kung ano ba yung program ng entity. No? So, it is to be treated as a future delivery of goods. Okay? It is to be treated as a future delivery of goods. So, you need to allocate that. Okay? So, what happens now is that during the actual sale, no? Doon sa primary transaction natin, yun siya, sales yun siya talaga. However, the allocated portion which pertains to the award points should be considered as a deferred revenue or unearned. Kasi nga, nakatanggap ka na ng pera allocated from the actual sales price, pero yung delivery of goods or service mo is still in the future. So, anong tawag niyan na transaction? Diba? That is unearned revenue. Diba? That is unearned revenue. So, the concept is, recognize mo muna siya as unearned revenue. During redemption, that is the time na ma-earned mo siya. That is now the time na i-relate mo siya or i-record mo siya as an actual sale. Okay? As an actual sale. So, klaro yun siya, ha? So, one of the important note lang to consider, aside from the allocation class, no? Aside from the allocation is that yung redemption rate natin dito is to be assessed regularly each period. So, meaning, yung each period natin, depende if yung period of evaluation natin 6 months or annual. But most of the time, annual yan siya during the reporting period, no? There is always an assessment of the redemption rate. Kung baga, ano ba tong redemption rate? Is that redemption rate, ito yung estimates of the entity na let's say, for example, out of from all sales transaction or from the sale transaction during the year, let's say 80% lang doon, or from the sale transaction of the year, let's say mayroong points na na-accumulate. Total na to, hindi lang to one customer. Let's say may accumulated points na total. Let's say 100,000 points, award points. Okay, let's say 100,000 award points. Yung redemption rate, basically, is kung anong percentage ng 100,000 ang mariredeem in the coming years. Hindi lang next year, but in the coming years. Okay? Especially if this loyalty program is not time bounded, meaning hindi mag-expire yung points na ma-accumulate mo. Okay? Na ma-accumulate mo. So that is the redemption rate. That redemption rate basically is just an estimate. However, that is a logical estimate based from past experience of the entity. So, hindi lang yan siya na kung trip mo, ganito na percentage, ganyan na percentage, yan na, hindi. It should be logical, okay, from past experience. Meaning, more than 60% of likelihood na yun talaga yung mangyayari. But still, that is an estimate only. Okay, that is an estimate only. So, the standard states na dapat i-assess yan siya regularly. Why? Because it can affect, okay? It can affect the recognition of the earned revenue from the amount previously recognized as deferred. Okay? So later on, makikita natin ang example niyan kung paano yan siya i-apply. Okay? What is important right now is that for us to know, no, it should be assessed regularly and it can affect the recognition of the earned portion of this revenue. Okay? So remember that concept, ha? So, okay. Let us now go with the illustrative or for illustration. Okay? So first, premium liabilities. So as an example, we have this problem. Okay? Miracle Company manufactures daw a product, packaged and sold. Okay? That is packaged and sold. That product, okay, if you purchase that, mayroong premium item na pag makaredeem ka daw ng 3 wrappers plus an amount of 10 pesos, makakuha ka ng plate or plato, no? Which is very common, no? Pero ngayon parang hindi na 'to nangyayari, di ba? Iba na yung mga promo natin ngayon. Kung makikita natin, di ba, sa Facebook, no? Papapahulain ka lang tapos bibigyan ka ng 10,000, no? So anyway, so these are the data, the premium, no? In 2020 and 2021, okay, these are our sales amount, okay? In 2020, we purchased premium items amounting to 390, and in 2021, we purchased premium items amounting to 580. Okay. During the year, we distributed plates in 2020 amounting to, or the number of plates distributed in 2020 is 5,000. In 2021, 9,000. At the end of each reporting period, the company estimated that at the end of 2020, 20,000 will be distributed in subsequent period, and in 2021, 3,000. In distributing these premiums, okay, the company will spend 20 pesos per plate. Okay? The company will spend 20 pesos per plate. So, how will we recognize that? Before the actual accounting entries class, let us do some computation first. No? So, number 1, let us determine, okay, how many plates were purchased for this amount. So, to compute that, basically, just divide the cost, okay, from the purchase price, which is 50 pesos. So, it is, or the total number of plates purchase is in 2020, we have 7,800 plates. In 2021, 11,600. Diba? So as noted, this is our current asset, the plates. Okay? Premium item, current asset. Now, the next computation is, diba, if you remember, if we distribute this premium, this becomes our expense. So in this particular transaction, how much is our expense? So in computing the expense class, no? In computing the expense, we need to consider, aside from the purchase price of that premium item, we also need to consider other costs related to premium or income for that matter, no? In our particular example, as an added cost, we have distribution cost. Diba? We have distribution cost. And we have also required that customers will have a remittance or will pay. How much was that? That is 10 pesos. So in essence, aside from this, we added 20 pesos expense for distribution. But we earned income of 10 pesos. So, to compute for the expense, it is based on actual plates distributed, no? Expense, again, expense yung pinag-uusapan natin dito. So, meaning, the expense basically is the distributed or the estimated for distributed, not the purchase. Klaro yun siya, ha? So again, the expense is the distributed premium item or the estimated for distribution. The accrual, kumbaga, that is our expense, not the actual number of purchase. Okay. So, our expense in relation to the purchase price is computed as the actual plates distributed, which is 5,000 and 9,000 respectively, multiplied by the purchase price. So that is 250, 450. In relation to distribution cost, the expense is 5,000, 9,000, 100, 180. And in respect to the remittance, the income is 50,000 and 90,000. So how would this look like sa entry? Ganito. So to recognize the purchase plate as a current asset, obviously, debit, premium, then the item, which is in this particular case, that is the plate. Credit the cash. Okay? Credit the cash. Which is, sorry ha, that is not 546, but that should be 390. Okay? Hindi yan siya 546, but that is 390. So again, this should be 390,000, not 546. Okay? Because it pertains to the purchase price in 2020. So, debit premium plates, credit cash at 390,000. Okay? This is your asset. Diba? This is your asset. Next, to recognize the redemption during the year. Okay? To recognize the redemption during the year. Again, in relation to the purchase price, no? Diba, as what we have computed to the distribute during the year, which is the 5,000 and the 9,000 respectively, 5,000 times 50,000, so that is 250,000, diba? So that means, for the purchase in 2022 siya, debit premiums expense, purchase price of plates 250, credit the asset. Kasi ito yung binigay mo, itong item mo. So ito yung credit. In relation to the distribution cost, which is yung 20, okay? The actual items distributed multiplied by the 20 pesos, which is premium expense na 100,000. Diba? Ito. And lastly, in relation sa remittance or yung income na receive natin, okay? You have to remember na hindi to income. Again, hindi to income. But a deduction sa expense natin. Kaya nga, this is credited to premium expense. Although in essence, no, income siya kasi na yun nga, naka-receive tayo ng amount. However, let us directly net it to our expense. That is why credit siya to expense. So how was this computed in 2020? The 5,000 actual distributed multiplied by the remittance of 10 pesos, no? Plain and simple. Okay? Alternatively, class, no? If kung hindi na kayo nalilito nito, the easiest way to journalize this is to make a compound entry. Diba? So, the compound entry, basically, if we look at it, if we total premium expense, 250,000 plus 100 minus 50, that is 300. Obviously, the plates distributed, yung 5,000 times purchase price na 50, that is only 250. Ito yun. Then, credit to cash. Why credit to cash? Because, if you may notice here, no, in our entry, 100,000 is for the outflow for the distribution cost, while we have an inflow of 50,000 for the remittance. Correct? So, net cash natin is an outflow of 50,000. That is why it is credited, no? That is your compound entry. Now, if you may remember, no? We have this estimated at the end of each year. So again, this estimated number of plates, this is not yet recognized as an expense. Diba? At the end of each year. But we need to accrue it. Diba? We need to accrue it. Therefore, we need to recognize the estimated liability. So how will we compute that? Okay, how will we compute that? Obviously, the estimated number multiplied by this amount, this 60 now. What is this 60? Diba? Based on our earlier discussion, what comprises the expense? The purchase price, the distribution cost, less any remittances. So, ito yun. Okay? Ito yun. Net total premiums cost. Okay? Purchase cost plus distribution cost minus customer remittance. So, that means that is 60. So, if we compute that, okay, our total estimated liability at the end of the year is 120 and 180,000 in 2021. Okay? So, how are we going to recognize that as an entry in 2020? Obviously, again, debit, premium expense, credit, estimated, premium liability. Plain and simple. Okay? In 2021, this is our entry. Because, if we look at our computation, 580,000 was the purchase price. So, that is our asset. Okay? This is our expense. A debit to 540. Diba? So, kung titingnan natin yung computation natin, ito yun. 450,000 for the Actual distribution in relation to purchase price, 180,000 in relation to distribution cost, that is 9,000 times 20. And in relation to remittance, that is 90,000. Diba? So this is our entry for that. A debit to premium expense of 300. The plates distributed, that is 250. Okay? The plates distributed, that is, again, sorry, no? Typo error, no? That is not 250, but this should be 450. Okay? So, again, in relation to purchase price, okay? In relation to purchase price, that is 450,000. Okay? That is 450,000 because if we look at this, no? 9,000 times 50, that is 450,000 in relation to purchase price. The distribution cost, that is not 100 but 180. Okay? But 100, that is 180,000. Okay? That is 180,000. Ay, sorry. Okay. Wrong data kung na-present, sorry. In 2021, okay? So this is 580 for the purchase price. So we have 180. Then we have 450. Okay? For the in relation to price, as noted again in the computation. Then we have 90,000 for the remittance, okay, in 2021. Okay? This is for 2020 pala, ha. Huwag nyo tong kalimutan yung sinabi ko kanina na na-mislook ko lang na 2020 pala to. Dito pa tayo dapat sa baba. Okay? So, compound entry, to, no? Debit premium expense, credit premiums for plates for 50 and the cash. Again, for the liability, based on the 60 pesos, no, na net total premium cost, multiplied to the estimated liability at year end. Okay? So, that is our premiums. Okay? That is our premiums. Next. Cash rebate program. Okay, cash rebate program. So, let's say, no, Spot Music is a regional music streaming company daw. As a promotion, it offered 50 pesos cash rebate on select subscription in exchange for a photo na special event or moment na nag-listen daw sila to Spot Music. The company estimated that 70% of subscription will avail of the rebate. So during the year, there was 20,000 subscription. Total rebates claim amounted to 500,000. Plain and simple lang yan siya, class, no? Computation. Number of subscription multiplied by the estimated rebate availment, which is 70%. So we have an estimated total number of subscription availing at 28,571 subscription. Okay? If we multiply it by the rebate amount of 50 pesos, we will get this estimated liability for rebates. During the year, the rebates claim is 500,000. So, the remaining rebates at the end of the year is only 928,571.73. Diba? Straightforward computation lang yan siya, class, no? So, how will we recognize that? Again, debit, rebate, expense at the total estimated amount. Diba? The entry for redemption, we have 500,000. Siyempre, as if nabayaran na to, itong estimated rebate liability, then i-debit na natin. Credit, cash. Plain and simple journal entries lang yan siya, no? It is just a matter of understanding the problem. Okay? So, last illustration natin, itong customer loyalty program. Ito medyo mahaba ito, no? So, kay Klein Madi Company operates a customer loyalty program daw, where it grants loyalty points for goods purchase. Okay? That points, if accumulated, can be changed for goods of the entity. It has no expiry date. So during the year, the total accumulated points or award credits in relation to the sales of that year is 50,000 points daw. Which the entity expects that 80% shall be redeemed. Although hindi yan siya, or pwede na hindi during the year, but pwede subsequent years, what is important is that the entity estimated it reasonably at 80%. Diba? So, if these awards daw are sold as an award, stand-alone, separate from the sale, okay? It can be sold at 1 million. Okay? While during the year, the total amount of sales amounted to 7 million. Ba? So, in year 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, or meaning, at the end of the year, these are the expected rate of redemption. 80, 85%, 85%, and 90%. So, how are we going to recognize this transaction? So, first, let us allocate the actual sales price of 7 million to its portion as to what is the amount of actual sale and what is the amount of the loyalty points or the stand-alone award credit. So, to compute that, we need to allocate it based on the stand-alone selling prices daw, di ba? As the standard requires. So, we need to ratio. So, the ratio for sale, that is 7/8. The ratio for the award points or for the loyalty points, that is 1/8. Paano yan siya kinuha? Ito, di ba? Yan. So, 7 million, the stand-alone price of the sale, and the 1 million for the loyalty points. Total yan, 8. Ratio, 7/8. 1/8. No? Straightforward. That is an equivalent of 87.5% for sales, and for the award points, that is 12.5%. So, to compute that, or after that computation, we have allocated na for sales, the actual value is only 6,125,000, while the loyalty points has a value of 875,000. So, in 2020, this is your earned revenue or your sale. This is your unearned revenue, the 875,000. So, the entry is debit cash, yung 7 million, the unearned loyalty points, unearned revenue, di ba? As what is required, 875,000. Then the sales is at 6,125,000. Okay. So, itong computation na to, medyo ito, naging komplikado lang because we have allocated, or the computation is medyo komplikado siya sa allocation. However, this is very straightforward. So the next problem is, how about if there is now a redemption of the award points? No? How about kung meron ng redemption? So, if you may notice, no, in our data, actually, in 2020, merong redemption amounting to 15,000 award points. So, how will we recognize that? So, the first thing that we need to do is basically compute how much of this 875,000, which is our unearned, is earned in 2020. So, to compute that, because this is the first year of redemption, medyo madali pa lang siya, no? Basically, it is computed as number 1, we have to estimate how much of the given loyalty points will be redeemed by, or that will be multiplied by the percent redemption rate, which is in 2020, it was 80%. So, that is an equivalent of estimated 40,000 award points. Now, out of these 40,000 estimated award points daw, 15,000 was redeemed in 2020. So, that is a total percentage of 37.5%. So, paano to kinuha? Simple lang. 15,000 divided by 40,000. So, that is 37.5%. So, that means that in 2020, of this 875,000 na unearned revenue, 37.5 daw niyan is na-earned in 2020. So, just multiply. So, that would give us an earned revenue of 328,125 pesos. Simple lang. Diba? So, the entry, napakadali din. Debit the unearned portion, which is this unearned coming from this entry, di ba? Magkano? Itong amount na na-compute natin, 328,125. Recognize it as a sale, no? Sir, bakit sale? Again, the standard state na itong award points natin or loyalty points in this particular example is to be treated as a future delivery of goods or service, future sale, diba? It just so happen na in 2020 meron ding redemption ito, kaya we added sale for the earned portion. Okay. In 2021, okay, again, remember the concept pa? Annually evaluated ang redemption rate. Okay. That is why, in 2021, there is now a change of estimated points to be redeemed. Why? Because, as we have noticed, no, in 2020, 80% lang yun. Pero ngayon, in 2021, 85% daw. So, that means that, in 2021, the estimated loyalty points to be redeemed is 42,500. Diba? 50,000 times 85%. Okay. Now, second redemption of loyalty points. So, how will we compute now the earned portion? So, of course, we need to add all redemption, including the previous one, to the and the sum will be divided by the total estimated points to get the earned portion or the percentage of earned loyalty points or award points. Ito. So, how will we compute that? Diba, we have redeemed in 2020, 15,000. And for this year, 2021, we have redeemed 7,950. So, ang total redeem points na natin ngayon, class, is 22,950. Diba? If we divide that to the estimated points which is computed here based on the change redemption rate, we can get 54% as our earned portion. So if we multiply that by the previously unearned na 875, that means na in 2021, ang earned revenue and loyalty points totaled 472,500. Diba? Minus the recognized earned in 2020, 144,375. Dapat i-recognize natin siya in 2021 na earned portion. Okay? Na earned portion. So, again, straightforward computation lang, no? Ang iintindihin lang talaga natin dito na medyo na baka makaligtaan natin is that ito, no? Annually, it is based on the estimate or evaluated redemption rate. Pabago-bago to siya, depende, no? If there are changes in the redemption rate. So, again, the entries, straightforward din. Debit unearned revenue, 144,375. Credit, sales, no? In 2022, walang changes sa redemption rate. So, same pa rin yung estimated natin. However, yung total redeem points is added na tong tatlo, which is yung na-redeem natin 2020, 2021, and 2022. That total, 25,500, no? If we divide that by the total estimated points to be redeemed, which is 42,500, that is equivalent to 60% na. Kumbaga, 60% of the 875,000 is now earned in 2022. So that would mean, or that would be an equivalent amount of 525,000. Less the earned or the recognized earned revenue in 2020 and in 2021, so that we have a remaining 52,500 that needs to be recognized as earned revenue in 2022. So, entry is, again, very straightforward, no? Debit unearned revenue, credit sales. And lastly, class, in 2023, okay, na-change na siya from 85 naging 90%. So, that means, ang estimated loyalty points natin is now 45,000. Diba? So, out of this estimated liability or estimated points to be redeemed, 40,500 is already earned, which is computed as 15,000 in 2020, 7,950 in 2021, 2,550 in 2022, and 15,000 in 2023. Total of 40,500. If we divide that by the estimated points to be redeemed, which is at 45,000, that means 90% of this 45,000 estimated points to be redeemed is already redeemed or earned. That would be an equivalent value of 787,500. So, the point is, after deducting the previously recognized earned portion, we have a remaining revenue to be recognized as earned in 2022 at 262,500. So, very straightforward computation lang talaga, no? Ito lang talaga yung medyo komplikado na dapat hindi ninyo makalimutan, no? Basta mag-change ang estimated redemption rate, automatic, yun ang gagamitin. Diba? Period per period. Okay? So, to summarize, no? We started with an earned revenue at 875 minus all this earned or minus all this recognized earned revenue from 2020 to 2023, we still have a remaining 87,500 balance of unearned revenue or still to be earned possibly in 2024. Okay? So, that's it, guys, no? So, premiums as a liability. So, I hope na meron kayong nakuha sa discussion natin ngayon. Later on, I will be posting your assignment and quiz sa classroom natin, ha. So, dapat palagi nyo pa rin chine-check yung Google Classroom natin para makita nyo kung ano yung mga activities natin, ha. So, thank you for listening. Again, I hope you are doing fine, ha. So, konti na lang talaga, no? Konti na lang. Mag-face to face na talaga tayo. So, guess that's it. So, good day, guys, and have a nice day ahead. So, thank you.